Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to finish installing these two windows that we started yesterday. This is our third day working on this project, and this is the results of all of the framing that we did on the inside, so we can go ahead and install the new windows that were a different measurement than what was there before. So yesterday we got pretty much most of the framing done. Today we just have a few more pieces of framing lumber to install, and right here on the outside we're putting these spacers that we're basically attaching them with some staples, and those spacers, they're gonna help us so that the new plywood will better match the level of the existing shiplap. Like these old houses, they had that shiplap material for the exterior. It's this really thick wood, and nowadays it's really hard to get that or the same exact thickness for the plywood. So what we're doing is we installed those little spacers, and then we're gonna cut out the existing shiplap, the little lap there, so we have a nice and flat surface. And we're just gonna cut all of these plywood. These measure 3/4 inches thick, and right here we're cutting out that little lap right there, so we can have that nice clean edge, and therefore we're gonna be able to install this new plywood, and it'll get nice and tight around the edges, like this one right here. So once you have it cut to size, you just want to screw it into the existing framing in several areas, and you can also fasten it with some framing nails, but in this case we're using some exterior nails or exterior screws. And over here we cut out this little piece, this little section that was missing, so we just made sure we had a nice tight fit. And as you can see, I mean, this new 3/4 inch thick plywood, it's almost like flush with the existing shiplap surface. So that's a good tip that you can use or keep in mind if you're ever working on the exterior of a house, replacing siding, removing windows, replacing windows and all that framing. If your plywood doesn't match the level of the existing material, you can use these little spacers to give you that extra thickness, and then it will match the same surface of whatever is there. You can also play with the plywood material. I know at the lumber store they sell like different thicknesses, 3/4, a little thin, a little thicker, so you can kind of play with that as well and find whatever works the best or closest. But as long as you get it as close as you can, it will be totally fine. After we do this, we're gonna start prepping the area directly around where the window will go. And in order to do that, once we complete installing all of this plywood in its place, we're gonna be putting in the house wrap. Now, the house wrap that we're gonna be using on this house is a WRB HydroGap material. And over here on the top, they have two attic windows. We're also gonna be replacing those, and we actually had to do a little bit of framing around those attic, or before we put the new attic windows, and that's because the new ones are a little bit less wide than the existing ones, or they're a little bit smaller. So we had to do a little bit of framing around there so we can have a better fit, and then we can install those new attic windows. But over here we're almost getting done installing all of this plywood. We just have this last board to do, and also we're removing all this trim that is on the all around the house, around the windows and the door trim. There's like this little decorative trim at the very top, and we want to remove that. You can see the profile right there. We're gonna take that out, and the new one is gonna be a square, so it's not gonna have like a decorative corner or anything. It's just gonna be a nice square one. So that's what we're doing right now, is cleaning up all the area, removing this trim that's on the top, and the new one we're gonna be installing, it's gonna be that nice square. So it'll be basically, this house is gonna look like super nice and modern. And this is the third day that we're working on this project. We started on Tuesday, removed all of the siding, which I uploaded the video so you can check that one out, how we were able to remove all this siding of the house in one day. Then on the second one, we started to work on those two windows, removing them, exposing the wall, and starting to frame everything. And today's the third day. We were able to complete all the framing, the plywood and everything, and now we're able to start installing this HydroGap. So that's the strategy. Once you have everything ready on the surface, you can go ahead and the next step is to install your house wrap material. Then I have a few other guys working on other sides of the house. Like right here, we're gonna be replacing this fascia. That's where the gutter was fastened to before, and we're just gonna replace that because it was a little bit older and kind of rotted out. So we're gonna put a new one there, and then also the soffit directly below that, we're gonna replace those two. And so right here, we're working on the second level. Actually, today, we were able to install all of the house wrap on this side of the house and also on the back side. So basically, on the third day that we've been here, we finished up all the framing around these two windows outside of the living room, and we were able to install the house wrap on two sides of the house. Now tomorrow we're gonna come in and finish up all the details to finish, installing the house wrap, and then also replacing any trim and just prepping everything before we can go ahead and install the brand new siding material, which we're gonna be putting a hardy panel that is smooth finish, and I'll show you that video tomorrow. And so now that we got the house wrap installed on the right side of the house, we kind of overlapped it a little bit here on the corner, so that way when we put the new one, it will be everything fully covered. We're using this flashing tape, and we're gonna install that around the bottom and like 6 inches on both sides. And this will help for moisture or water protection. You basically it has like a self-adhesive film on like an adhesive on the bottom. You just lay it down right there, and then apply some pressure with a roller, and that will basically stick to the surface. Then on the corners, we have these green plastic corner guards that will help you further protect for the water, so it'll keep the water out basically. Once you have that flashing tape at the bottom, you put those corner guards there. Then you can go ahead and put in the rest of the flashing on all the sides and the top, and then you're ready to install the new window. So thankfully right here, now we finally installed the right side window.